Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the 12th of June, I read in the headlines that Strathmore University had defeated Harvard Law School in a competition that was held in Geneva, Switzerland. That was one of the most important days of my life, to note that a university in Kenya can compete with Ivy Leagues. That made me very proud. I have also visited Strathmore severally to be able to participate to different Senate and Strathmore joint meetings. And I'm quite pleased that today the students who belong to the debating club are here. I want to encourage you to come as young legislators, or even as legislators in this country. We don't always know everything. So I think it is about time that you spend some time, share with us your knowledge, so that whatever we do, it is to better the future and to ensure that this country does not go into the dogs. Recently, we made some very controversial decisions in this House that has put the future of this country at risk. Some of us, yes, might be able to afford to pay the debt, but if we do not take advice from you, your kids might continue having a lot of challenges in terms of meeting even their daily needs, because most of the money from this country will go into paying debts. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I welcome them. And I also welcome the members from Trans Nzoia, and I would like to extend an invitation for them to come tomorrow, if they're going to spend the night here, to be able to participate in CPIKE, because I believe tomorrow we'll be hosting the governor of Trans Nzoia to go through the fiduciary responsibility. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the statement by my good friend, Senator Haniri. And Mr. Speaker, sir, this House was created to be able to defend the interests of counties and their governments. I don't think it is the national government role to encourage county government to come up with mechanism on how they can harvest water. I think it is us, and we need to take up our role seriously. We need to be able to engage the county assemblies, and I'm quite happy that the County Assembly of Trans Nzoia is here today. I think before you pass any budget, if you experience droughts, if you experience floods in your county, I think the first thing for you to do is to ensure that you have a disaster management policy, which should be, the first one should be pending bills, you pay them out. The second one should be, the second charge on your account should be in the issue of disaster. This is a problem. I don't think us complaining or lamenting or even asking my good friend Senator Githiomi to be able to investigate this matter will resolve. I think it's about time that we come up with a proper legislation, engage the county assemblies, so that we can take our people's interests at hand. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, this is not the national government will not give us a solution. They have not given us a solution for all those years. I remember during the Nisumkate era, there was a disaster management coordination board, which was trying to coordinate from different ministries. It is about time that we think of a permanent
senators,
solution.
consult in law tones.
So, Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you.
What is it, Senator Abdullahi?
Friend, Senator Ledama sat down, but is it in order to mislead the public and the House that the national government has no role when most of the money, over 90% of the budget of Kenya is with the national government and the counties only get a mere 11%?
Order, honorable senators. What is it, Senator Kajwang?
Mr. Speaker, is a senator for Narok in order to disclaim the role of the national government when it comes to disaster management, and yet in the 4th schedule of the Constitution, the 24th function of the national government is disaster management, including some of the disasters that are happening in the Mau. Mr. Speaker, is in order to mislead this House.
Honorable senators, we will proceed. Honorable Senator Olekina, you need to respond. Are you in order?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am quite in order. Article 189 of this Constitution talks about the cooperation between national and county governments. If the national government has decided to give a blind eye on things that are happening in our county governments, should we follow suit? I think it also behooves us You know, wait. Can I just finish?
Order, Senator Sakaja. Do you
No,
need to
I
be
do
informed?
wish to- I- no, I do wish to be
Order,
informed.
Senator. Do you need to be informed?
Absolutely.
Senator Sakaja.
Mr. Speaker, it is normal for colleagues to allow information, not to be hesitant. So I don't know what the hesitation was, but quickly, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to inform Senator Ledama, as well as the House. Senator Kajwang has pointed out the fourth schedule about the roles of national government, and clearly there's disaster management. In part 2, schedule number 12 talks about disaster management as well as a county function. This is what we call a concurrent function that both arms of government have to deal with. So it is not just blame on one side. Now, because of that, Mr. Speaker, in this House in its wisdom passed a bill sponsored by Senator Mutula and myself. We co-sponsored this bill on disaster management and cooperation between national government agencies and the counties. Mr. Speaker, the question we must ask ourselves as a House is why that bill has been stuck in the National Assembly for more than 9 months, actually possibly a year, in the National Assembly, and they have decided to designate it as a money bill, that they have gone to the budget office, to Treasury to find out. That is the real problem. Because there are resources in national government, there are resources in county government that should deal with flooding. One day it's flooding, tomorrow it is drought. The framework is there. Mr. Speaker, that is where the focus should be. And I would like to urge Senator Kaniri, or if I can do it through this intervention, that is part of the question that the Committee on Lands need to ask, not just on the policy, because there was also another bill coming from national government to deal with the concurrence of this function of disaster management. What happens is everybody knows this work must be done by somebody, but somebody will not do it because somebody thinks that somebody else is doing it. Money is being stolen through disaster management, purported disaster management.
Let's proceed, honorable senators. Senator Ledama Olekina, you are well informed, and your time is over. You've concluded. You already
Mr.
concluded.
Speaker, it's only fair for me to conclude. Just
Proceed,
30
1
seconds.
minute. 1
Okay,
minute,
1
Senator
minute.
Olekina.
Thank you so much, Senator Sakaja. And this is precisely the point that I was trying to bring across. We cannot be shifting blame. I think we can be able to learn from the mess in health. Maybe that's not a very good example. But the national government took over that role, which is supposed to be implemented by the county government. So I thank Senator Sakaja for informing this House, and I think it's about time that we should follow through so that we see an end. If that legislation can be able to be implemented fully, then we cannot be passing the blame. I know Senator Gideon is very good and he's diligent, and he can be able to give a solution, but I think it also behooves us to be able to come up with those solutions in this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.